G'day everyone, welcome to Steelhorse Station. Happy New Year, hope you are all well. Peter, I see you there in chat. I think we might have somebody else lurking in the background, which is great. It is, what is the date today? 7:30 on the 2nd of January here in Melbourne, and we are heading to Griffin, Indiana. So, with Giants kind of closed for the holidays, I wasn't inspired by any of the maps that we haven't done that have been out recently. And what I thought I would do is I was due to put out a Griffin, Indiana video for the series. I think we're up to about 31 or 32. But it's the winter break, and I thought rather than just work it through in the background, we could do what I hinted at in the last video and just suspend operations for a while. Kevin and Jocelyn can go off on their break, and we can in effect leave the kids in charge of the farm as we work our way through. So why don't we run over there and see what's what. Hope everybody had a lovely Christmas break and a bit of fun over New Year's. So here we are. We're actually at the mill in Griffin because I've just sold. So we've been stockpiling our wheat and oats, waiting for best prices, and you'll see we're now at best price in terms of oats and wheat, and it seems to be oscillating between Mount Vernon and the mill here. So I've just sold a load here. Where are we up to? 11. The current price at the mill was $11.58, so it's only $4 in it. And rather than mess around with the train, I think we'll just sell here. So I've just set up so that we can get back to the farm, which is what we'll do next. We won't sell much of the wheat, maybe one more truckload of the wheat, but we will sell pretty much all the oats is the plan, and that should top things up just nicely. I also noticed just before that a ploughing contract had come up, so we'll take that. That was on the, if you have been watching the episodes, the idea is this fits in contextually with the video series. So if you were fortunate enough to have some time to look at the last one, you'll know that we finished off our activities, and one of the things that we could have done was helped out a neighbour with a corn contract that we decided not to do. Anyway, they got the corn off the field, and now that field needs ploughing. So we might take that contract. We have taken the contract, but might progress that in a little while. But first order of business is let's get this crop sold down and get the cash in. So that's actually the main plan. I rolled through the 1st of December because there wasn't much happening, and that was where I had the idea maybe to do things this way round. We don't necessarily need to spend a long time in each day. We can roll forward depending on sort of how the chores and opportunities strike us. So that's the cornfield just there, and I'm pretty sure that's where the contract, yes, that's where the contract is, just on our right here on field 21. So Peter, did you get up to anything interesting over New Year's. It was pretty quiet here. The family was kind of visiting in and out. The weather's been fantastic. A little bit of sport consumed. There's much tennis being watched. Mrs. Steele enjoys the tennis. So hopefully we'll get enough money to be able to buy that field we've just passed there on the right-hand side. We won't be too far away from it when we get this crop sold. We've also got to keep an eye on the feed levels for the animals so they don't run out. Oh, one other thing that came up, a second-hand version of the Ram Ute that we've been driving appeared, or Ram truck appeared in the sale. That was less than half, or was half, the buyout price. G'day, Pleasant View Farms. How are you, sir? That was half the price, so I decided that we needed to stop leasing the truck and purchase one. So that's down at the dealership waiting for us to pick it up. Let's see how that goes there. I might have to help the worker get into the right spot, will I? Happy New Year, Pleasant View Farms. Hope you're having a good one. I hope you're managing to keep your young livestock warm. I recall I can't remember if it was in your stream or where I saw you referring to the challenges that represented. And I can only imagine what it's like to keep young cattle warm when the weather is miserable. So the ability to have a quiet day with grandchildren, I'm guessing, depends on the age of the grandchildren. 30 to 40, that sounds a lot more reasonable. Let's get this crop. Whoops, I didn't want to do that. Let's try. I'll stop. That's what happens when you hit the wrong button. What's that following? No, that's not what I want. That's better. Let's follow the Mac. Right. It was quiet here whenever my daughter and her 1-year-old Doberman weren't here. Stella's a lovely dog, but she's a bundle of energy, and our Kelpie Tito thinks it's his job, because he's about 7 years older, to make sure she's rounded up all the time. So these things are just like everywhere's a full run, and they're in and they're out and they're in and they're out. Yeah, that's a pretty unpleasant temperature variation. We get those, or close to that, from sort of hot to the middle of the night on some of the more extreme days in the summer, but that's sort of going from 40 degrees, and a southerly cool change will come through and it'll get down to 10 or 15. Is it just me watching, or All I can see is you steal and oh crap. No, it's me. I hit the wrong button. Now you should see. Thank you. Brosome. I haven't heard of Brosome. Thank you very much, PVF. That explains what was going on. When I move the mouse across to the other screen, if I don't remember to click twice, it doesn't actually transition properly. And because it's still in the preview screen, it looks to me like it's all good. It's just lack of skill on my part, basically. Now, what's happening here? Have we got a tractor coming? We do. You took 600 sheep with you from Western Wild. Well, they'll keep you busy. You'll need a few spinneries to process those. I really enjoy Griffin. I find it good fun. It's a good mix of field sizes. I'm playing it a little bit differently than how I've played lots of the European maps. So it's a bit of fun. And it was the first one that I started on Farm Manager, which was a decision I made to sort of fit with the try and get the pace of the video going. I was concerned that it was going to be really bogged down if I just did a straight hard start from scratch, particularly given that the silo at the farm was, or the original silo at the fermenting silo was so slow that was going to take like a year to process a load of grass. So I started with a little bit more money, and that enabled me to get it set up and get some pace going, which sort of seems to work well for the video series, and it's good fun to play. It's a good size equipment. AJ's done a really good, nice job with the map. So, and we're concentrating on cattle, so yeah, so what I did was replace it. So that was kind of part of an episode early on. Oh, there we go. We can deactivate because it looks like it's run out of grass. But yeah, I put this one in, which still has a sort of discounted formula, which I quite like, but it runs a little bit faster than the original one that's on the map and has a little bit of capacity to it. So that's working really well for us. And it means that we can, it doesn't instantly turn, so it's not like the I'm just trying to think, the Zottelzucht ones tend to, you know, and even Omatana to that end sort of tend to create it instantly. I wanted something that it was a little steadier. On this map, I'm trying to go with a little more American style. Let me walk through. What have we got here? Let's go to the correct button. So in the garage, we have I should wind back a step. So where I get the choice to take stuff from new, I've kind of gone with what I imagine to be more of a John Deere Midwest sort of feel. And then I take advantage of things that come up in the sales. So that's led to some interesting truck and car choices, vehicle choices. But it does mean, what have we got here? We haven't got a huge amount of equipment, and we've along the way had at least various bits of John Deere kit for field work. So most of the stuff that you see here, with the exception of the small tractors, has come up secondhand, which is why we own it, and we're gradually winding back the list of leased equipment, because we're sitting, let me see here, is it that button? No, that button. Can't remember the keystrokes. Maybe I've got to get out of there. There we go. So we're sitting on a $500,000 loan and we're paying interest at 8%. So that gets a little bit expensive for... And that fits with Kevin's background. So Kevin is the farm owner. And he was a career banker out of Minneapolis who decided he needed a tree change, and he cashed in his 401k and bought the place here and setting himself up as a farmer. He had a little bit of experience doing rural finance when he was a banker. I think I described him in a few episodes as a mediocre banker with sort of big plans. So that's very much the scenario that we've been running here. And when we get back, we can have a bit of a look at what's happening on the farm itself. We've got the crops in because we're right at the end of December. That's why we're selling down our holdings in the silo. And I try to pick mods that fit the story as much as anything. So in that respect, it's a similar approach to Silver Run Forest Farm, except that the feel and the approach of the farm and the backstory are very different. So for instance, this construction company that you can see on the right hand side, these were the guys that came and installed the new silos. So we had a couple of episodes of construction gear running around the farmyard while they took the old one away and put the new one in. So that's kind of the approach. And so you can see we've got the farm up there on the hill, and we're gradually sort of building it out. We'll go and check on the animals in a second. We'll just put these trucks back in the yard. We haven't built any sheds other than the silos. That's kind of, we've been waiting to get to this point where we get the finances a bit under control. So this is the first year winter break that it sort of felt like we had any money, which is why we want to buy this field here and pop another cattle development pen on the edge of the woodland there. I'll show you what we've done. This is our barley in here. We've sprayed that. We let the weeds get it a little bit away from us. So we had to spray that. We've got a grass field over the back. And the twilight field, which is, you can see, covered in lime over there, is where we'll put our our corn. This is a little shed for our milk herd. And I think that's probably all we need to sell for the minute. Let's just park this out the way over here. Oops. Nope, I left the truck running. So you can see sort of the setup there. So the fermenting silo went in, and then we bought a couple of tower silos to go with there, or to give us places to put crop. So this is our first sort of breeding pasture for the beginnings of our Angus herd. So we've got 36 in there. How are we going with that? Let's have a look. So that's this lot up here. So we try to add to them when we've got the cash sort of every month or every other month, just sort of top them up. So we've got a fair age range in these. And we are out of feed. That's why all the values have dropped. Man, they surprised me when they run out. I didn't look before I rolled the day over. So next job we've got to do. Where is... Okay. I'm imagining something. Where is our Ridgy track gone? Ah, there it is. It was charging. That's what we did. We put a charging station in. So in keeping with the career of his wife, Jocelyn, she's kind of the environmentalist in the family. So when the electric tractor came up, that was just something we had to have. We've got some hay in the silo here, which is what we're using for feed. Silage. So we're just keeping the pasture stock on hay, which seems to do them quite nicely. We just have a little bit of trouble with this trigger. There it is. That's no way that's full. This tipping trailer just gets caught on the fence. So here we go. Thank you. I like it. So these guys now have food, which is much better. We'll put some water in there shortly. Our milk cows are about half, so we'll top up there. We are feeding them TMR in the hope that shortly they'll produce some milk for us. And then our other pasture could do with a little bit of hay. We'll take this one over to the other one while we've got some in the trailer. I just forget as these guys get older, it's only got a small capacity on that trough there, and they munch their way through it. Yeah, so we put the second feedlot at the back of this field, trying to make the best use of the land we've got at the moment. Took the gates off here because they were getting in the way. Oops. Yeah, so we've got a little grass field there, which is all we need to keep our fermenting silo going. And then we've put this other pasture in here. There's a few more trees in there than we want, but we'll thin those out. That's one of the jobs we can do in the stream tonight, potentially, if we get to that. It's not super urgent. Clears out a bit, but it just sort of fits without having to make everything dead flat before you go and put the pastures down. I kind of like to try and work with, to an extent, what the map maker's given me and not just radically turn it inside out. So that's what we're doing. So Kevin's ambition here is to be a cattle baron. He sort of models himself a bit on sort of the Texas ranchers, at least that's what he thinks from a banker's standpoint. And so yeah, we're getting up there. Got sort of 50 or 60 head of cattle, and with the money that's now sitting in the bank, we'll put another feedlot in and add another 30 or 40. And things will start to get a little bit more interesting. So a mix of arable and cattle, that's the, and grains predominantly. That's the plan. Right, so that's that bit done. Let's, while we're just checking on animals, let's just do a water run so that we don't forget that. And while there's not snow on the ground and we can get to the pond. Is there any, whoops, didn't cook on. So let's see. How much are you going to take? We need to take a load of straw down to the livestock yard because we're at the top of the straw price as well. That'll go pretty close to filling that, I would have thought. Yes, it did. Excellent. So we're going to get the ploughing contract we've picked up underway. I doubt there'll be much else on the contract board. Fill you up. Must be getting on in the evening for you, Pleasant View. It'll be just about time to get up and feed your animals. Unless that's what you're doing. You're actually just got up to go and feed your animals. That's always an option, of course. Let's see, how much water do we need here? Rightio. That's that job done. They look pretty happy with life. So other than sheep, Peter, what are you planning for Brosum? While I'm checking animals, I will just have a look and make sure our sheep are happy. Plenty of grass, wool's coming along. And in fact, we must have got some new... We did. We got some new lambs. So now we should start to see the volume of wool production pick up a little bit, which will go some way to starting to figure out this is the ute that came up second hand. So it's basically the same vehicle with a couple of different options as the one we had before. But it'll do the trick. Now let's... What do we got here? We have a big case quad track. Very nice. Grape and olive orchards and greenhouses. Ah! Well, that's a bit of fun. I like doing grapes. I was... they're on my list of things. Once we get Newlands for the next stage of development, the plan is to use some of the hillsides there and put some grapes in. So Newlands is the map that I stream on Tuesday mornings and Friday mornings, Aussie time. So that's Monday evening and Thursday evening, US and Europe. Let's follow you there. So let's go get this contract underway. You will follow on. And once we've got the contract happening, now that we've got the ute picked up, we can think about loading the trailer and taking a load of straw down. For some reason, it was really interesting. I've only done olives and grapes the once, but I found the grapes... Well, actually, I've done grapes twice. I've done grapes on Adelshoven, and I've also done grapes on Old Stream Farm. This is the field in front of us, isn't it? So let's go and stop this guy. Let's go over here. Now, if we whack horseplay on, I think, because that'll mean we can do a couple of other things for the minute while this is trundling around. We'll create a job there on this. That's the field we want. That's how we want it to go. Open the generator. It is 4.9 meters. Plow from memory. Number of headlands. I reckon the more headlands, the better. We're going to start on the headlands. Let's do round corners. Let's not overlap too much. And there is no island. Generate the course. That looks pretty good and should stop him getting into too much trouble. We might have to come back and fix that, the corners of the field, but I'm happy with that. Let's see how you go here, Chief. What I'm hoping is that it doesn't have too much of a hard time and that those headlands keep it comfortably in the field. We'll come back and check on it. Yeah, so as I was saying about grapes and olives, I enjoyed doing grapes. Olives felt a bit, I don't know, element of set and forget, I think. I don't know why. I just got more satisfaction doing the grapes. I can't really think of a good reason why though. So that's going to go fine. The other thing I've done is I've also taken the contract HUD off here. I think it might need an update, but it was contributing to the occasional strange scripting error that I've been getting since 1.8 patch. So I've left it off for the moment, which is why we don't have that in the top line. So we can put our ute over here. Oh, I hate it when I do that. Go to all the trouble to stop it and then manage to get back in and auto start it. Good job. Right. So the next job, I think, is straw bales. And I'm not planning on messing with hand loading them in the... Oops, I've left the tractor right in the way. Let's get this tractor out of the way. Oh, the other thing that I'd say with grapes, Peter, is if you've got access to it, the grape harvester that came out midway through the year, I found it actually better than the brawn. It's only a really minor differences. It's almost the same, but I actually found it easier to drive and keep on the line that I wanted between the vines. So certainly worth giving it a go. And as I said, I'm guessing in a few weeks' time, what is it? We'll give that a whirl on Newlands. Just got to get a little bit further developed. How are we going here? 105. I think I can get a couple more on there. 120, that feels full. Pretty sure the best price for straw is down at Larson's. Let's see here, straw, Larson's livestock, $91 versus last 12 months top price of 89, so it is. And the advantage of this delivery, we can check on our plough contractor on the way past. Those ones in there, we might keep. How many do we need to keep, I wonder? Probably only about half a dozen of them. Once we've done the straw delivery and we'll check and the plough contract, we can roll forward potentially. We don't have to finish the ploughing before we roll over the day. So that's going pretty well. We were supposed to get a cool change through, and it's cooled down outside, but the house was hot enough. It stayed pretty warm in here. And of course the lights and the technology. Whoops. Guessing we hung up on the fence. Guess that sign, street sign, has to go. Thanks to whoever's lurking. Great to have you along. Feel free to say hi if you want to join the conversation. Let's see here. Back you in, I think. Trail is always longer than it feels. Let's take the straps off. And the cows are loud in the cabin. I'm going to hit that post. Can't tell. There we go. Good job. 11.5 grand. Excellent. Oops. Rightio. Let's head back up and see what we've got. We're almost up to 150. The contract that we're doing will kick us over 150, which is fine. And 150 is enough to buy that field, I'm pretty sure. We'll have a look at all of that in just a second. case is making short work of the ploughing. We'll have corners to sort out with it though. Let's see, on about the third headland by the looks. Welcome along, whoever's just joined us. Great to have you here. Happy New Year. Hope you're having fun in whatever part of the world you're joining us from. I'm sitting in sunny Melbourne in the evening of Monday the 2nd of January. But we're here on Griffin, Indiana. Whoops. Get through the gate. There you go. Come on. You can do it. Turn that way. There we go. Let's take stock of where we're up to with all our deliveries. That's the... How many bales we got left over here? Well, there's still quite a few. So I think we'll do a few more. I think we only need to be left with 6. So if we can do another 2, 4, 6, 8. Another 8 or 9 would be a good idea. Let's have a look here. So we've almost got rid of the oats. We'll keep the wheat to make seed in case more seed opportunities come up. And I think we'll sell the rest of the oats. So let's just do another truckload of oats just to empty that out of the silo. So where is the oats then? There's no oats in there. Why is it telling me there's no oats in there? Where have I got oats? Says I've got 8,000 litres of them. Where? Ah, we have oats down at the silo near the train. So we will do it this way. We'll run down to the train silo and get those oats out of there. I'd forgotten all about them. That'll be the leftovers from one of the contracts that we had. That's not a problem. Now this field here on the left-hand side, just to pull in here and have a bit of a look. This is the field that we want to buy, field 22, right there, for 130,000. So I'm thinking we just buy it while we're here. We've got the money. Yes. Now, then what we want to try and do, we won't be able to afford it at the moment. And we'll have to do a little bit of landscaping, I think, along this edge, is we want to put another cattle pen in here. One of these. Along the edge here. So we just need a... maybe it'll work that way. Need to figure out how far back we can go. If we can fit in that way, it'd be better that way. So just do a level cut across about where those troughs go. Enough room to put a... So take a couple of trees out, and then we'll fence that in there. We can run a fence across. We can continue the white fence down. We can run the white fence across the back and on the end. So that'll work quite nicely, I think. And then we can stock it up. So that's the plan. With any luck, the completion of this contract will give us enough money to put that in the next couple of days, or in the next game day. And in fact, taking those couple of trees out, which we can sell, there's a carpentry sawmill just over to the right, just on the far side of Larson's there, where we could sell those trees. We'll just load up a few on the trailer and just get a few extra dollars. We just need to decide now what crop we're going to put in it. Oh, the soybeans or corn, I'm thinking. Oh, what did I do that for? Gosh, brain dead. Let's try going to the correct part of the silo and we can fill up. So, 8,000. So if we head up to Uga, welcome. Happy New Year. I hope it is a lovely, not too cold 2nd of January morning for you in Turkey. We are in Griffin, Indiana at the moment. If you've been watching the video series, you'll know where we're up to, but this is Kevin and Jocelyn's farm, and we're just selling the crops from their second harvest year. So we've got a contract running on the field in front of us. We've just bought a field, which we can't do anything with until this planting window opens. We're just heading up to the mill to sell the last of our oats. Rightio. How much will we get for this lot? Probably about 10,000 maybe? That wasn't a bad guess. 9,989. So that's topped the cash back up out of the danger zone. And it's not so bad now because we've returned a lot of the equipment we had leased. So most of what we've got left now we own. The items that we've still got leased are the lower value items, generally speaking. And the big item is our loan, which at 8% is a bit of an expensive monthly proposition, but we're managing because our cash flow has been improving, and shortly we can keep the feed up to the animals. We'll be able to start selling some livestock. So just a few more straw bales to get rid of, and then we can come down and potentially do a little bit on this. Looks like he's about to start the up and downs. He does have enough room to turn around, so that's 5 headlands. Looks like it might have been the right choice. Got to remember with that long plough, because it's only 5 metres wide, total headlands are only 25 metres, but the plough's about 10 or 11 metres long. So to give it room to turn on the field, you've got to be generous. So let's just park you here for now. We will grab the truck again. We're not going to fill it right up. Time for a drink. I reckon 6 bales of straw, because it's only 6 months until we cut the barley again. And can't see us. We've only got a dozen milk cows in that little barn, so can't see us using all the straw for TMR and for let's see here, how many are you going to put on? So if I go back just a fraction, that's it. What's that giving us? 6, 7. That's left how many in the shed? That's left us with 6, 8. I want 2 more. Come on. That'll do. So a quick rundown. That will be that job completed. I don't think there'll be any more contracts, so I think we'll need to roll forward the day in order to see whether, so 40% done on that ploughing contract, to see whether we get anything on fields or on any of the other fields. So let's see here. Come on, lovey, don't walk behind the truck. What was on the sales today? Big versatile. We don't have 120 grand, but that would be a pretty useful pickup. Not going to buy a header without a harvester. And I don't think we need the Kubota. So that is a nice Kubota. Oh. So the good news is that I feel like I'm missing out on anything at the sales. So it's promising. Train's gone, so it can't run into us. Many things to be thankful for. Nope, he's managed to get himself wrapped around a pole. Not quite enough room. I was hoping... How do you do that? That's quite an achievement too. Managed to do that like that. There we go. While you're here, let's do the corner. Seeing I'm now in and driving. You're going to get around that way. Make a little bit of a mess digging it up on the corner. Okay, so we're going to need to take another row off here, I'm guessing. If we're going to stop it doing that at the ends. And I probably should have put it on a horseplay racetrack lands rather than just up and down, just so that it didn't turn so tight at the end of the row. Pop you down to this corner. Better. Let's see how you go if I just put you on the regular worker now rather than horseplay. Or are you going to run? Will do. Lights fading, might be just about time to roll the day over. We've certainly got all of the main things that I wanted done for December out of the way. Welcome along. Someone's just joined us. Great to have you here. Fine to lurk in the background if that's what works for you. Alternatively, come and say hi, and if you've got any questions, more than happy to try and answer them. So, I think we'll just check. Yeah, sheep should be coming back gradually. They're all good, so we can roll forward safely now. I believe we have done all that was required. So let's see, 8 o'clock will be fine for January. No point in getting up in the dark. There you can see every game day is about $1,600 in interest. And the snow is with us. So let's head back down to that. Well, let's actually have a look first. That's the ploughing contract we're doing. We don't have anything that we can do with the supply contract. So let's head down. Here we go. Our worker is up and at 'em, and looks like that's working much more successfully at the up and downs, but no need to keep a worker on that. I can progress this one. Oops. If I drive in a straight line, have we got the plough down? I can't see. There we go. Let's go and do that corner before we continue on with the up and down, although that one doesn't look to be as quite as ugly as the round ones that we did. There we go. So that just kills that. How much of this contract have we actually done? We are up to... we're halfway. Okay, good. I think we'll go across the top here so we've got plenty of turning room. That'll do the trick. In effect, an extra headland. It didn't like this. I rounded it out of that corner. Got a bit of work to do up here. Nice covered bridge. Very appropriate for this time of year in this part of the world, I'm guessing. Lift and turn. Put it down. I left a slice. Yeah, so I know for next time 6 headlands is the right number to try and turn this plough. Without asking it to do unnatural things. Up a little bit of this corner. There we go, very sedate. Not much happening at 8 kilometres an hour. Okay. You just keep moseying on down. It's a nice tractor though, this case. Bright red interior, good visibility. We're going 180. Very informative little screen there. Oops. So we will just go over there and do a little bit more of this corner work. Try not to jump the plough. There we go. Get back in the correct row and we go. So what I'll do at the end is we'll put it back on the worker and we'll go up and have a look. This contract will leave us, take us up to about 37, which will be enough to place the cattle pasture that we want, assuming it's going to fit in the area that we want. So let's go up there and do a little bit of landscaping so that we can oops, did I get it? I did get it. So this is the area just over here that I'm thinking about. And we kind of need we need a level section at the front for the feed trough. But a little bit of hill behind it's fine because it'll adjust to the slope. So let's have a look here. So this is the one we want to use. So it's going to reach. We put it sort of square to the edge there. Something like so, I reckon. So the trick is to keep an eye. So we know it's at this edge. It's going to go to that tree. So when I say that tree, I mean we grab our little painting tool for a minute. And we do a piece of sand river mud will do. It's going to go to about there. From about there. Is that right? Let's have a look. Yep. What we want to do is pick the midpoint ideally. Yeah. Which is around about there. Go next size up. And just flatten that like so. Let's see. That's a little more radical than I was hoping for. Okay, so let's see here. Let's just save that so in case we make a disaster. I'm not worried so much about this edge. I don't want a radical rise up from the edge of the field. So that suggests it's landscape. Let's put you back in there. Right. So now we just how's that going to work? So let's see. We zoom in a little bit. That just gives us a bit of perspective. So now when we take our cow pen, so it still needs to go. Oh no, that'll be all right. Probably got to take out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trees, I reckon, in order to fit that sort of on the front there. Yep. So let's do that. It's an odd looking tree. Are you a... No, you are a cuttable tree. You're a... one of these difficult to get rid of trees. Probably even more difficult now that I've landscaped. Because they're half buried. Come on. Somewhere around here is the spot. My chainsaw's sounding a little bit ill. Might need a tree big on to get rid of you. What do you got? Widowmaker. You're up there. Right. Let's see what we got here. So these aren't going to be particularly valuable, but there'll be a little bit of lumber value in them. They're certainly not as much fun to work with as the regular ones on Silver and Forest, or the new ones on Silver and Forest, I should say. Okay, that's that guy. What we got here? This looks like a little oak. No, willow. At least the little bits disappear pretty quickly. What's this guy? This isn't another willow. It's an olive tree. Okay. Who'd have thunk it? So we're just tidy this up a little bit and then we'll go back and get the trailer and the skid steer and a couple of tools and load a few of these things on. Be nice to be able to take that guy out. But I might need the bigger implement. G'day to everyone who's popped in. We're just on Griffin, Indiana. We've bought ourselves a field which has just got a little wooded area at the end, and we're just making room to put our next animal pasture in alongside the arable field here. We just had to take half a dozen trees out so that we got space for the feed lots. So just what I'm doing at present. Of course, they're nice decorative trees, so they look good, but they're a bit of a pain to work with. Rightio, what's happening here? There we go. Good. Right, so let's go up. Well, that device is what we require, because that'll make loading easier. Can you get across? I can't remember if you can make it cross country across there. It's not too far. We've just got two largish fields to traverse. A bit slow at 12 miles an hour, but we'll make it. It's faster than going back to the farm, getting the trailer and driving the trailer all the way across just to pick up the skid steer. Welcome to whoever's joined us. It's great to have you along. We're on Griffin, Indiana, and we're just working our way through the winter. We've sold a bunch of crop. We've bought a new field, and we're making some space for a new pasture. So we're also supervising a ploughing contract, which will give us the rest of the money we need to put in the pasture. So. And right now we're just ferrying our skid steer across. So I hope everyone's having a good festive period. I'm guessing Australian viewers are probably Some of them might even be heading back to work tomorrow. Possibly in Europe, you might be heading back to work today even if you didn't get a public holiday for the 2nd. So that might be a bit grim. That's my dog in the background, getting a bit excited at probably a possum on the fence would be my guess, given the time of night. Chief Wildlife Sentry is. Also means he's back from his walk, so. If anybody's got any questions, please sing out. There we go, our ploughing contract's about 70% done. So, progressing fairly quickly now. Doing a good job. Just a few little bits every now and again. It doesn't quite get straight on the turn. Okay, we're in the home stretch. We got a bit of a floating tree up there, which is interesting. Now let's see. Grab. I think we'll grab the truck. But we'll go by the yard because that's where the stump grinder is, which we'll need for that tree that is proving difficult. If we're lucky, we should be able to squeak down the far side of the field here, so we don't have to go back onto the road. That'll do. Latch it on, and away we go. Just do a quick tour around the back of the grass field here. We'll just sneak down the edge of the barley, I hope. Whoops, it's going to be a bit tight. Hopefully it's not too slippery. It does look very frosty though. I think jump up here. Is that a good idea? Probably not. Let's drop you off. Get the stump grinder. Let's see if you will get rid of said tree. Yes, you will. Beautiful. That's what we want. Easy when you got the right tools. Come on, there we go. Any more stumps sitting here that I can't see? There's one over there. Diamond teeth on these blades make all the difference. Right. Well, I'm wondering, looking at that, thinking we should actually go in. We're up a bit high. Let's come back down onto our field. We can do that without getting stuck. Come on. And what can we do here? Rough there, isn't it? And it's finding that a little on the awkward and the heavy side. Come on, click around the edge. There we go. Let's put you down and pick you up in the middle, shall we? That's a bit better. Now that's probably something we should strap on to give us a chance of not actually bumping everything else off when we put the next one on. That one's heavy. Okay, let's try. Why don't you cut? There we go. That base of that tree was fairly weighty. Right, let's see, what have we got over here? Some of these little bits can go over on their own. Just push these out of the way. So that we can sort out landscaping with any luck. That, another one. I don't want to go back any further, because then I'll sort of lose the natural look that I'm going for. And I'm going to have to pull that one out of there. What are you up in a minute? So I reckon that. It's better. That means that ends a bit more dramatic, but we can sort that out shortly. But it just means getting up onto here is not so difficult. You can go straight on. Oh, can't even judge the depth onto the trailer. What's that? So this will be a few extra dollars from the sawmill. So it looks like we haven't affected the edge of the field, which was the goal. Now if we put our animal pasture on there, still sitting up higher than I wanted. So we've got to come up further at this end, by the looks. Landscaping. That's the height. Better. Let's see. It's looking a bit better. Is that the one we want, or do we want this one? That's a 60. That's a 40. That's the one we put up in the other area, which adjusts the fences for you. But only takes 60 cows, so It might be just too big. Food for thought. Got to keep the trigger on the right hand end visible. So if we did that one, that might go back too far as well. I think we'll do that. I think we'll do this large feed light. Where are the triggers on that? Interactive zone markers. Animals. Yes, I reckon we'll get that on there, all right. Maybe just a little bit further up to the left. Up to the right, sorry. Just to get that to sit down. Might have to take that other tree out too. There we go. That's gonna go. I think that'll go in there fine when we're done. And we'll put the white fencing in and it will look terrific. So we just need a little bit more cash. You need to deal with that tree. Sort that out afterwards. Need to take that one out as well. Where are you? And that one, I think, is going to be floating otherwise. I am using the lumberjack mod there, which allows me to grab the stump. So I just do a little bit of using on this train here, just to make it a little bit more sympathetic with the ground around. So use the smoothing tool to do that. Takes the edge off. Just get those lumps out. That's it. I don't want to put any more bushes down. I don't want to buy any grass. So there we go. Now, where's our contract up to? Almost done. Might finish this guy off. Something about 3 or 4 more rows up and down here and we'll be all finished. So that'll be pretty much it for this evening's stream as well when we finish the contract, I think. Certainly great to have all the folks that popped in to say hi and see what we were up to. We are on good track to have the farm in the sort of shape we wanted when Jocelyn and Kevin get back in February, so that's probably where we'll pick it up for the next episode of Griffin later in the week in the video series. If you've popped in and seen the stream and like the look of the map and what we're doing here, then feel free to catch up with the video series. Jocelyn and Kevin in particular has been having some fun developing his operation here, so things are going pretty well, progressing fairly steadily. And with any luck over the next few months, the cattle operation should really take off in a reasonable sort of way, so be good. But for now, we've probably only got 2 or 3 more length to do to finish this ploughing contract. Pretty confident we won't have to go around and sort out all those little derricks we missed. We can get some of them now as we turn, of course. Bit of a dry argument today. Added heat. It's amazing how used to having the contract hut, I get to tell where I'm up to. I'll just have a quick peek. Oh, there we go. I'm completed. So we can collect on this one. So there's our cash balance. It's just not enough to put this field in, I don't think. We may have to go down and sell the trees in order to do that. Let's just see if we've got enough to pop that pasture in. Whoops, wrong button. have to place that there. We do not. 25,000 won't let me place it, which is odd because that should be free placement. Okay, I'll have to go and sell something. Never mind. That's where we will leave it for today. So I certainly appreciate everybody popping in on their New Year's break. And thank you very much for joining us today. It's been a fun one. We've got a few things done. And until next time, thank you for watching and stay safe. We will be streaming again in about 11 hours time to pick up the end of Monday in the US and Europe. So it'll be 8 o'clock in the morning here in Oz. But until then, thanks for watching. See ya.